Once, a very long time ago, there lived a hermit monk. He preferred to spend his time well away from the trappings of society and instead wanted privacy in nature to deepen his meditation practice. He would still visit the local village early each morning to collect his alms food. And this had been the way the monk lived for many years. One fine afternoon, after the monk had received his alms food, he found his usual meditation cushion and began to be aware of his breathing and started to practice deep meditation. His concentration became so great that the monk sat for a very long time without noticing the large snake coming closer and closer. The monk was so absorbed with his one-pointed concentration that he had become as still as a tree. The large snake didn't even notice the silent and still monk who was meditating as still as a tree. All it noticed was a nice warm sleeping spot in those monk's robes, all draped around his legs, and in the sunshine, the snake snuggled into the monk's lap and fell fast asleep. An hour or so passed like this, with the monk in deep meditative concentration and the snake fast asleep on his lap, until slowly the monk returned his concentration to his surroundings and began to become aware of an unusual weight in his lap. You can imagine the monk's surprise as he glanced down into his lap. As bold as brass, a very large snake had indeed curled up in his lap and fallen fast asleep. Fear gripped the monk, who instantly closed his eyes and started meditating again. He calmed himself and remembered his training. All things are impermanent and forever changing, and he knew without a doubt the snake would move on again. And so he stayed in meditation. But since the snake was very comfortable and didn't want to move, it stayed where it was fast asleep. This went on for many days until even the villagers started to notice the absence of their monk and decided to pay him a visit. The villagers came with food and offerings, and as they approached, they noticed the monk sitting silently in meditation. They were all absorbed in the serenity of the monk and his stillness that they didn't notice the snake curled up fast asleep in his lap. Slowly, each villager bowed with respect to the meditating monk and left their offerings and the monk to his meditation. Life went on like this for many days. The monk, out of fear, in a deep meditative concentration, with the snake fast asleep on his lap, all comfortable as can be, and the villagers coming each and every day to offer food. Finally, the snake found itself hungry and so uncurled itself from the monk's lap, stretched its biggest stretch, and went off in search of food. The monk also slowly came out of meditation, but something had changed deep within. He had sat for many days in complete absorption of his mind and saw as clearly as a mountain lake the process within our minds that cause humanity so much pain and suffering. He had attained enlightenment. He had experienced for himself the true impermanence of all phenomena and the attachment to everything that cause our sufferings. As the monk slowly opened his eyes, a great sense of loving kindness filled his heart. He noticed all the offerings from the local villagers and was compelled by compassion to help them. He packed his small bag and started walking to the village where he stayed and taught for the rest of his life the root cause of our sufferings and the way to enlightenment. We see in our life, sometimes fear can motivate us to do some remarkable things, but it also has the power to cripple our thinking. Every one of us has experienced fear in our lives, and it is how we move forward, not allowing that fear to consume our thinking. That is the key. Fear is a natural response to changeable and uncertain situations. To attach to that fear and live life within it is not a natural response. This is overthinking. If fear is having a crippling effect on our decision making, we are overthinking about life and need to find a way to relax. Overthinking has passed us by. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Thank you for watching. Stay happy and stay blessed.